Okay, hi, hello, welcome back. Last last video, we talked about the last two accommodation styles being maintenance and non-accommodation. We did a kind of summary of what they all are, a quick recap, if you will. And this video is the last video. You did it, you made it, all done. In the last video, I talked about how we want to use our accommodation styles as stances. Think of your voice as a weapon and the style as your stance. This video is just going to go over like practical ways to use those. We go over it in the booklet, and that's about it. So this video will really be the fleshing out. Some of these can be used interchangeably, some can't. But let's get into it. Okay, so convergence. Convergence is an offensive style. It's an offensive stance, right? If I'm converging, I'm doing so with the expectation that I'm going to get something that gets me closer to my goal. If that is not the case, it's not worth it. It's not worth risking your voice over something so trivial, right? So, in the example of our magnum opus, the reason I'm going to converge is because this club, this social group of my creative peers, they have things I want, and I can only get that in their club, so I'm going to converge. That's the goal. If converging doesn't get me there, I'm not going to do it, because again, I'm risking my voice. So convergence, think of it as offensive. It's your offensive ability. You don't want to spam it. You want to use it strategically to get to where you want to be. Now, on the flip side, divergence is defensive, right? So if I'm diverging, it's because I'm putting my foot down. I'm taking a stand. I don't want to leave ground or move any sort of ground. I want to stay exactly where I'm at. So in our magnum opus example, this would be the peer comes up and they don't have anything that can help me reach my goal of being an artist, or I don't like the ideas associated in their club, so that even though I could do it, I wouldn't like the ideas there. If that's the case, I'm gonna diverge. I don't want to be a part of this. I want to defend my voice. I want to keep it where it is. I want to maintain it, so I'm going to diverge. Defense. I don't want to move ground. I want to take a stand. Now, while I classify these as offensive and defensive, they can be flipped sometimes. Sometimes convergence can be used defensively if you want to get out of a conversation. So like if your peer is kind of pressuring you, or if you feel like, hey, the only way I can really get out of this is by getting on their level or appeasing them in this moment, then sometimes convergence can be defensive. You converge quickly, and then you just kind of disregard the interaction. Same with divergence. Divergence can sometimes be used offensively. If the group you're trying to get into values taking a stand, values being a individual, values making a statement, then sometimes being divergent can get you closer to your goal. So these are flexible, but they still kind of mainly are using those offensive and defensive styles or stances. Now, think of maintenance as your idle animation. Right? You're not really doing anything. You're just kind of waiting. That's maintenance. Harkening back to the example I said last video, they ask you why, and you just kind of respond your default answer. And that's okay. It's going to happen a lot. Use this idle stance whenever you don't see a clear reason to do offensive or defensive. If you're just existing and they're just existing, just exist. That's okay. That's what idle is. You don't have to put in any effort to accommodate. You just kind of sit there and you're like, okay, that happened. Goodbye. This is going to happen a lot in the creative sphere. You're going to get client pitches. You're going to have people who think that because they make cookies, they are reinventing what it means to be human. And you just sit there. You look at them. You go, I see the vision, and then and that's it. You don't waste any energy. There's no point in trying to get into their head. They're delusional. This happens a lot. I've had this in board. I've had this in pitch meetings all the time. Sometimes you just have to sit there and you're like, okay, I'm gonna save my energy for the creative process. I don't have time to like try to figure out how to make you happy. We're just gonna rock. That's maintenance. You're just being idle. You're waiting to see what happens until you have reason to switch into offensive or defensive. Now, non-accommodation. Think of non-accommodation as you using your ultimate, right? You're using your ultimate, but you missed, and now you're in like a cooldown period. All right. So you took a bunch of energy, and you tried to accommodate, and you either over accommodated, or you under accommodated, you missed the ultimate. The energy went out the door. You threw it all away. Now you're in cooldown. You're in like a reset period where you just need to rest, chill, regain your voice, and try again. That's not an accommodation. This will also happen a lot. You may come into a pitch meeting, or you may come into a design pitch, and you may think you had the greatest idea ever. So you come out there swinging. You present to your all, and you just miss the boredom. They don't like the idea. They don't like the execution. Whatever it may be, you missed. All right? It's okay. It's going to happen. These things are natural. Take a step back. Realize what you could have done better. Realize what you did do well. Go back to the drawing board and try again. Reset. Cool it down. That's how I would think of non-accommodation. It's like you wasted the art. You wasted the big move. And now you just need to cool down. You need to rest, regain your voice, and try again. Throughout this video series, and I think I even mentioned it in the booklet, there's a lot of talk of this being used for like your voice, like how you talk. But these things can also be used through like however you communicate. They're not single to just your voice. You can use these things through body language, through behaviors, obviously through your voice, through the way you write. Anything that you use to communicate, you can use these accommodation styles on, and you can mix and match, right? So we do this all the time. Say you're dating, right, or you're going through the dating pool. You can mix and match to say the way you talk is converging, right? You're appeasing the other person, because maybe on the date you don't like how it's going, but you're kind of scared of what may happen with the dude. So you converge in your speech, right? You assimilate, you kind of talk his talk, but body language wise and behavior wise, you're very divergent. You are making it very clear through your through your body language actions, you don't like the dude. That's a mix and match. That's a strategic mix and match. I'm going to converge, both used defensively. Converging to back away, to get out of the situation, and diverging to stand your ground. Hey, don't touch me. Things of that nature. You get it. It's happened before. It's going to happen to all of us. That can be applied to all the communication styles in every mode of communication. And it's very important. Again, I need to stress this enough. Throughout this video, I want to end on this. Please know your voice before you do any of these. All of these that involve manipulating your voice. The best way to do that is to know your voice. You can't manipulate something if you don't know it. Learn your voice. Learn what you stand for. Learn what you like. Learn what you don't like. And know what your goals are. Have a plan for how to get to those goals. And then, once you have that set, like in stone, only then can you then launch off and start actively trying to effectively get there, right? If I don't know my goal, if my goal is to make it as a creative and get into this agency, well, then I need to know who I need to converge and diverge with so that I can have the appearance of someone that belongs in the agency. Hey, maybe I converge with this brand because I know that they work with this company and they have a good track record. And maybe I avoid doing jobs with this brand or with this concept because this brand or concept is antithetical to this. That's how you gotta play it. You gotta be effective here. All right, we're going to be effective communicators in the creative world. You're gonna use all of these. It's gonna suck sometimes. Sometimes you may even lose yourself. And if you find yourself trying to lose your voice, take a step back, recalibrate, know it's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. It's always fine. And try again. That's it.